All right. Let me see, guys. If anyone's on or when you get on, please let me know if you can hear me. I'm always checking the audio to make sure I'm not just talking to myself. So if you're on right now and you can hear me, all right. Let me see, guys. There we go. Muted. All right. If you can hear me, I want to check out the chat. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. And we're going to rip. All right. Eli, what's up? Can you hear me? I'm just hoping that the audio's working and that we could get cranking, man. Can everybody hear me? All one of you, two of you, whoever's on, can you hear me? Just give me a little something here and then we'll get ripping. Yes, we can hear. Beautiful. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Give me one moment, Eli, hang with me. Give me just a moment. Let's do this thing. All right, we got a couple people on. Let me mute this out. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, for all Malik dope, I recognize some people on here. I recognize some people already. Looks like we got a couple people that are on our Facebook group as well. Guys, welcome to this live stream. I'm gonna just jump right into this, and I'm gonna be on here for a moment. But anyway, appreciate anyone that's on right now, anyone that will jump on here in a moment, and anyone that will watch this after it is posted. But yes, it's cool. I can recognize, I'm recognizing a few of the names from our Discord channel, from our Facebook group. And I just wanted to come on and do this intro episode. And so here's what's going to happen. So I'll make an announcement. I'll make this a little bit more known. I'm just kind of going with it because that's how I really am a big believer that money loves speed. And so when something comes to your mind and you feel like it's right, you feel it in your gut, you just do it. You're not going to have all the pieces. You're not going to have everything perfect. You just do it. Okay. That's how I've made the money that I've made. I've gotten to the place that I've gotten, and I've got a lot ahead of me, but it has served me well, and I'm going to continue to do that. So here's the deal. Welcome to what is going to be a weekly show every single Monday, 10 a.m. MST. That's, let me do a little math here. That is 12 p.m. EST. So 10 a.m. MST, if that's easier for you to remember, or 12 p.m. EST. We are going to be coming on live here on Facebook. Sorry, here on YouTube, not Facebook. And we are going to be talking all things digital real estate. We're going to call the show Making Hay with Digital Real Estate. I'm going to talk about why we're using that name, what we're going to be talking about, the format of the show. I'm going to share a little bit about what the crap digital real estate actually is, what rank and rent is. I'm going to share a little bit of my story today. And then every single Monday, there's going to be a new topic. Okay. So with that said, I want to share real quick. The reason why we're calling this Making Hay is a little bit about me for those that don't know who the crap I am, who the heck I am. I grew up on a farm and I call it a village, but it was a small town in southern Utah. Okay. I grew up in this little village, literally on a farm, and that's how we lived. My father was and still is a farmer. He farms alfalfa hay. That is literally that green stuff that you see growing. We would harvest the hay and we would turn it into those bales like you see in the movies. We would ship it to California. He still does this, by the way. And that's how we live. That's how he lives. That's how he makes his money. And he always used to say the saying that you guys have probably heard. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. And that is make hay while the sun is shining, or make hay while the sun shines, whatever. And I heard this over and over and over again as a kid. And it wasn't until recently that I really started to understand what this actually meant. Okay. And I think you guys can tell just from the saying, the phrase, what it actually probably is trying to say. But you don't really understand what this means unless you are in a job, in a business where your very livelihood can change in a snap of your fingers. It can change with a rainstorm. It can change when the weather doesn't comply. Okay. In that business, in the hay harvesting, alfalfa harvesting business, every time, so just to kind of give you a little bit of context here, you grow the hay, right? It grows to whatever height, and when it's ready, you cut it. So you have these things called swathers. You go and cut the hay down, boom. It dries, you rake it up, you flip it. It's got to dry. It's got to be the perfect, it's got to be certain dryness. It's got to have a little bit of dew, has to be the right, all these different factors, right? And every single time, once the hay is cut and it's laying on the ground, if it comes in and there's a rainstorm, literally like a sprinkle, guys, a little dribble, just past a spit, which I just spit all over my computer. You're welcome. It would literally cost us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, depending on how much hay was laying on the ground. So you think you understand that, but you don't, because you're not in a business that's like that, unless you're one of a few people that still does this occupation called farming. But I learned it firsthand that, like, when the sun is shining, when the conditions are right, you put everything aside. Doesn't matter what you got going on. Doesn't matter what vacation you were going to take. It doesn't matter what games on TV. And you go and you harvest hay. You make hay while the sun shines. Okay. So I'm calling this Making Hay with Digital Real Estate, because I'm telling you guys right now, we are at a moment. I've been preaching this inside my Facebook group, inside my Discord channel. By the way, shout out to both of those. If you guys aren't in those, you're crazy. There's incredible. We have a live streams. We have tons of free content. We got people that are making money just from the free content in the channel and the group. If you guys aren't in those already, you're crazy. But I'm assuming if you're on this live stream, you probably are. But for those of you that aren't, for the one of you that isn't, you need to check it out. Anyway, I've been preaching this over and over and over, and that is, we're at a moment in time, guys. We're at a moment in time with this digital real estate, specifically with rank and rents, because digital real estate is kind of a broad term. And I'm going to go over that here in a moment. We're at this moment in time where the sun is shining. It is shining, but it is freaking shining. I'm going to try and keep this a little bit G-rated here, so I'm not going to curse. But the sun is shining. And I'm telling you, and I'm going to have this, it's going to be live. It is live, and it's going to be posted. So the record's going to be set straight. But I said it here that in 5 years, we're going to look back at this moment, this exact moment, and go, man, I could have scooped up so much more real estate, digital real estate, so many more rank and rent properties. I'm going to get what a day, what a Monday. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. Okay. That's why I love live streams, because you can't edit. And that's how I do all my content, if you haven't noticed. This is a moment in time where we need to be setting everything aside. I know there's tons of opportunities. I know that there's drop shipping and FBA and crypto and CBD and all these different things. Right now, you should be focusing on rank and rent digital real estate. And I'm going to say that a couple of times, because I'm going to cut that out. And in a couple of years, when everyone knows about this, because right now it's so unknown, it is so unknown, it baffles me. When I tell people, hey, they're like, what do you do? And I joke and I say, oh, I sell drugs, whatever, just joking for YouTube community that's watching this, the police. I lead with that. I joke there and I say, no, I actually do rank and rent digital real estate. Do you know what that is? 10 out of 10 people have no idea, zero idea what I'm talking about. 10 out of 10 people. And then I say, oh, it's this. And that is, and I'm going to get into it. I build micro websites. I build simple websites in local markets, in small towns, in medium-sized towns. I generate phone calls from these tiny websites, from these micro websites, and I sell the phone calls to local businesses. I own the website, and they rent, the business owner rents the website from me. And I make passive income every single month. So I'm building digital assets and I'm renting them out to local business owners. That's what I do. And if I said this to 100 people, because I have never and ever, not once have I told somebody what I actually do and what rank and rent digital real estate is, where they've gone, oh, that's a stupid idea, dude. What a dumb idea. Never, not once, guys, not one single time. You know what that tells me? That tells me that I am sitting on a gold mine with this rank and rent thing, that in a matter of, I don't know if it's 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 60 months, in a matter of a couple of years, everybody's going to know about this. This is going to be a business model that people are going to recognize just as much as they recognize drop shipping, just as much as they recognize whatever it is, all these other opportunities, Forex, whatever, right? And I want to be, I'm going to just tell you why I'm going to be doing this every single Monday at 10 a.m. MST, 12 p.m. EST, talking until I'm blue in the face about all things digital real estate, because I want to be the person that when you think of rank and rent digital real estate, you're like, oh, that guy, that crazy guy that he behaves as if he's on cocaine and Adderall, that guy. Okay. Trust me, guys, this is straight water. Okay. I want to be the guy. I want to be the person that's associated. When you think rank and rent, you think of me. Okay. That's why I'm doing this. And I want to get as many people to know about this business model as I possibly can, so that I'm the name attached. So what I'm going to be doing is what I've been doing for, the last 6 years. I've been plugging away at this business. It has gotten me out of $60,000 in debt. It's allowed me to invest in real estate. It's allowed me to buy cars. It's allowed me to travel. It's allowed me to basically build this entire life around this business model. And I've been talking about it religiously for 14 months inside of my Facebook group. And I have been doing the same thing that I tell people they should do when they go and they pursue this opportunity. And that is give value up front. Don't go and cold call. Don't go and cold call a business owner and say, hey, I can get you the first page of Google. Hey, I can get you some free leads. Hey, give me your card. No. Nope. That's not what we do around here. What I teach people to do is you be different. When they're zigging, you're zagging. Okay. You're going to call somebody, you're going to call the business owner. And before you talk about money, you are going to say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I've got a lady. Her name is Joanna. She needs her tree trimmed. By the way, that's got to be true. You have to have the lead. You have to have it up front. And you're going to give that business owner free value, AKA a free lead, before you ever bring up price, before you ever talk about doing a deal, before you ever talk about business in general. You are going to be different than everybody else. And so my intention with this show that's going to happen every single Monday. And by the way, mark my words, every single Monday. I've said this, I've been going live in my Facebook group every single Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. MST for the last 14 months. There's been days I've been sick. There's been days I've been in Mexico. There's been days I've been in Africa. There's been days I've been in Arkansas. There's been days I've been looking at real estate. There's been days I've been golfing. I do not miss these calls. I do not miss these windows of time. When I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So you could just plan on it. Go ahead and put it in your calendar. I'm going to be there. Okay. And I will be bringing energy every single time. And it's not going to be a waste of your time, because I know you got a lot of stuff. For all of you that are listening right now live, I appreciate you being on. I'll make it worth your time. I am going to be giving value, and my strategy is very simple. Okay. And I think that whoever you are that's listening, you should take the same mentality, whatever business you do. Okay. Whether it's digital real estate or something else. Don't be so afraid of giving the thing that you're selling up front for free. Okay. Let me repeat that. Do not be afraid of giving the thing that you're selling up front for free. Not forever, but up front, giving it for free. And everyone has this mentality, especially in the space that I'm in, because I'll tell you right now, I do have a program. I do have a program called Digital Landlords. I'm not going to be talking about it a lot, but you will find out about it because everything leads there. But I'm not going to sit on here and talk about it. What I do is the exact opposite. I'm not the guy that's going to dangle the carrot and go, oh, there's this carrot, but you got to come inside. No, my opinion, my whole thesis, my MO is give it all away. Teach you everything that I can. Teach you and give you enough value that you could actually take the stuff I'm teaching you and you could go and put it into practice and make money today. And I know that sounds completely backwards. It sounds like total bullshit, which I wasn't going to curse, but there we go. We're going there. We're doing it. But the thing is, everyone has this wrong. Everyone thinks that you give a little bit and then you dangle the carrot and then it's like, no, buy my thing. No. What you do is you give everything. You give a ton of value, not fake value. You give real value. People can actually make money from. When I give leads to my business owners, I'm happy. I want them to make money. I want them to take the leads and I want them to go and make money. And if they make $8,000 on the concrete job, awesome. I don't expect $1 in return, nor am I going to ask for it. Okay. I want you to make money up front, because contrary to what you think is going to happen, which is people aren't going to buy your thing, they're going to make money from the thing that you're giving them, the leads, or in this case, the content that I'm giving you. And you're going to go, holy crap. This content is just free stuff. This is just free stuff. Okay. I want some more of that. Well, how do I get access to his paid stuff? Okay. That's the mentality that I have. It's the mentality that I have. Oh, and I've had multiple people, by the way, people that are on my internal team, people that know me. They're like, dude, are you sure you should be giving that much away? You're telling them a lot. Yep. I'm going to do more. Because here's what I've made up my mind and I've committed to is, as long as I continue to evolve, as long as I continue to learn, as long as I continue to figure out the next niche and figure out the next angle and figure out the next sales script, as long as I'm going to do that forever, then I'm cool sharing everything, right? Because for you to steal my stuff or for you to have everything that I've got, you would have to be me. And I'm always changing, so it's impossible. So I will tell you this, when I say something, I'm not giving you the old version. I'm giving you the current stuff. I'm telling you what I'm currently doing, what I'm currently working on, what I'm currently implementing. And the whole thing behind it is, I want you to make money. I want somebody on this call today to take what I'm going to share today and go and make money, go and get a deal, get a client, start making some passive income and go, holy cow. That's his free stuff. I got to get inside. I got to get inside of the digital landlords program, man. I wonder what's inside of that. Okay. I know it's backwards, but I'm telling you guys, I don't care what you're selling. I do not care. Give what you are offering, whatever you're selling, figure out a way to let the customer taste it, touch it, smell it, feel it, be with it for free. And you will sell a lot more. As long as your product's good, as long as your service is good. If your service sucks, that's not going to do anything, right? But if you have a good product, and I know I have a good product, I know my leads can make a lot of money. I have had customers. I had a customer one time in Alabama. This is a true story. The month was July. I still remember this. He called me at the end of the month and he said, Nick, from just your leads, because we're tracking this like crazy, from just the leads that you have sent me, we closed $96,000 in, this is gross, by the way, $96,000 in new business in July. This is a couple of years ago. $96,000 in 1 month from my leads. This is a great product. This is a great service. And as we're at all signs looking at, oh, recession's coming, cool. If it does, awesome. That's going to be awesome to actually buy some real estate that isn't overpriced. That's my mentality. Okay. That's all I want to say on that is, guys, you're going to see me and I'm going to share a lot of stuff. And I'm not ever going to say, trust me. You never hear me say, trust me, trust me, trust me. I'll always say, don't trust me, question me, but go try. Okay. And if you go into my Facebook group, go to my Discord channel, look at any of my case studies, you will see that everything that I say is what I don't say something unless I'm doing it. I'm not coming on here telling you to go and give away your service for free unless I'm doing that. Okay. I give it away. When I go and get a new client, bet your ass I'm going to give it away for free first for a couple of days or a certain amount of leads before I ask you to buy. With my program, with Digital Landlords, you can go into my Facebook group and you can go and watch a live, or you can come on this. You can watch one of my lives inside of the Facebook group every single Wednesday, absolutely free, 1 hour long. I'm dropping freaking nuggets in there, stuff that some of you guys have already paid for from some of these other people. It's way better than stuff you've paid for. And I do it because why? Because I want you to be able to touch it, taste it, feel it, smell it, get a little piece of me, get a little sample of what you're going to get with me. Okay. And I taste really damn good. Also, ask the people that work with me. Okay. Ask them. So Once again, quick recap. Every single Monday, 10 a.m. MST, we're going live right here on YouTube. You're going to see me come on every single time. And by the way, there's going to be a little section. I'm going to answer any questions. I'm going to take a couple of people that have questions or comments, whatever. So stay on, and I will be getting to that. So I wanted to do this live. So that's every single Monday. Okay. And then I want to talk really quickly. I want to talk, and that's the whole point of this first kind of episode, this first show, is I want to clarify what the hell is rank and rent digital real estate. And as I said a couple minutes ago, for those of you that just jumped on, if you went and you told 10 people, or you asked rather 10 people, hey, have you heard of rank and rent digital real estate? Guess how many of them would say yes? Guess how many of them would be able to respond and tell you exactly what it is? Zero. I'm going to just go ahead and break. None. Zero. It baffles me. It baffles me. I've made millions of dollars from this freaking business model that nobody knows about for the past couple of years. By the way, I wouldn't say that unless there was a way to find my tax returns. You can actually find my tax returns if you look hard enough. I'll just say that. Okay. I do not say anything unless I can prove it. Okay. If I say I've spent over $1 million on ads, it's because I have, and I can show you my account and I can prove it. Okay. So I want to explain what it is and what it isn't. In a nutshell, rank, and by the way, this is what's interesting about the term digital real estate. Okay. The term digital real estate has gotten really popular. It's gotten really catchy because of Bitcoin and the metaverse and NFTs. This is a term that was not really used 24 months ago. Not near as much as it is now. It's kind of like this shell for like a lot of things, right? But a couple of years ago, no one really used this term digital real estate. But that's exactly like in the purest form of what digital real estate is. That is what rank and rent digital real estate is. So think about real estate in and of itself. Let's talk about single family homes. Let's talk about buying tiny little homes or 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. What that business is. That business is you go and you buy homes, right? You go and you buy a single family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, right? You buy it, you own it, and you rent it out. And you make passive income. You make passive income, right? You have your note with the bank, you got your insurance, maybe your HOA, and then whatever they're paying, you take the difference. That is your passive income. That is real estate. And I know, like, that's just a broad definition. That is real estate. So what if we digitize that exact same concept? What if we took that same concept when we put it online? What if we went to the interwebs and we did that exact same thing and we built single family homes, multifamily homes, commercial real estate? What if we did that, but we did it online? What would that look like? Well, that's exactly what I do. It's exactly what I teach. It's exactly what this freaking show, Making Hay While the Sun Shines, is going to be about. All things digital real estate. So in a nutshell, we go into niches. Okay, now these are not crazy niches. These are very basic niches. Let me give you an example. That's the one I use all the time. If you guys are on this channel, probably heard me talk about it. Concrete. Okay, we go into niches like concrete. And we pick cities. And I have an entire, before you just go in and jump into this, I have an entire criteria for what constitutes a good city. We go and we strategically pick these cities in these niches. We go in, we build very simple, basic websites. I'm talking like when I show you, by the way, we'll get to that. I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to show you some of the projects I've done. I'm going to show you my Stripe account, some real data. We build these simple websites. We rank them on Google. Okay. And guess what happens when you rank something on Google? You start to get traffic. And guess what happens when you have a website that converts? That traffic turns into leads, AKA phone calls, AKA quote forms, web submissions. We get phone calls, we get quote forms. We take those pieces of that information, the name, address, phone number of these different people that come to these websites, and we sell that information to the local business owner in that city. So let's take an example, okay? And I know I'm going very, very basic, but I got to have everyone on the same page of what rank and rent digital real estate. So that's the ranking part. We build the site, we rank it with Google, and then we go and rent it out. So let's just say we want to do a concrete website in Plano, Texas, right? Now, I'm not saying Plano is a good city because you're going to have to do the homework. You're going to have to look at the competition. You're going to have to make sure there's enough volume. You're going to have to look at a couple of different factors. And I'm telling you, you can lose your shorts on that. So don't be stupid. Stick around so I could give you some criteria for what makes a good city. Let's say we do that. We build it in Plano. We rank it up. It's called Plano Concrete. We own the asset. And then what we do is we find a business owner in Plano that covers Plano. And we say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I'm going to give you all the calls, all the web submissions from this website. You're going to rent it from me for $1,500 a month or something like that, right? By the way, I have an entire formula. It's not a guess. I have a formula and a tool that I use to come up with the price. We come up with the price with this formula. We stick them with the price, do a 6-month to a 12-month contract. Boom. Digital asset. Guess how much it costs us? Well, if the site is ranked and we're getting all organic traffic, it's costing us very little. I have websites right now that I make 80 to 90% profit. So if I'm charging $1,500, I'm literally making $1,350 in my pocket. Guys, watch this. Right in the pocket, okay? 85 to 90% right in the pocket. That's this business model. And then guess what we do? We do it again. We do it again. And we do it again. And we do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And once you do it once and you make $1,500 and you go, holy shit, that's it? That's it? You know what you're going to do? Every single one of you, when you get your first deal, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have this moment and you're going to go, why don't I have 10 of these? Why don't I have 50 of these? Why don't I double my price and go to 3,000 or to 2,000 and do 50 of them? Because 2,000 times 50, guess what that equals? $100,000. This is the realization I had back in 2020 when I went all in, because I've been doing this. I've been dabbling and messing with this industry for 6 years, but I went all in 2020 and I realized, man, if I got $1,000 coming in, why don't I just do this 100 times? Or why don't I go to 2,000 and do it 50 times? That's how I'm going to get to 100K. That's how I'm going to get to become a millionaire. And I bet there's a bunch of you that are watching this right now or that will watch this, and you're probably like I was. And when you were 18 years old or 20 years old or 25 years old, you opened up your little journal or your little goals and you're like, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. And you know what's funny about that? Everyone wants to be a millionaire by the time they're 30. I don't know why, but I said the same thing. And it was this exact business model, this rank and rent digital real estate is the exact business model that allowed me to, and by the way, I didn't hit it. I'm ashamed to say I was a year off. I did it when I was 31 years old. No, let's see, 2020, I would have been, I did it. I was like a couple months late. I wanted to do it before I turned 31. And I think I hit it after I turned 31. Anyway, I hit it and it was through this business model. So that is it. That is rank and rent digital real estate, guys. Building simple properties on the internet, very basic, tiny micro websites, ranking them in Google, taking the phone calls, taking the traffic and selling it to a local business owner that wants the leads. Okay. Tree service companies, concrete companies, insulation companies, duct cleaning companies, pool cleaning companies, whatever, anything that is a home service. Those are the niches that I like to target. And we're going to have a whole episode on what niches you should go into, which ones you shouldn't go into. We're going to talk about what cities you should go into, what cities you shouldn't go into. We're going to talk about how to scale. We're going to talk about how to hire. We're going to talk about every single facet of this business, because again, I am going to be the person that when you think of digital real estate, you're like, dude, who's that crazy guy that's screaming every Monday at 10 a.m. MST, and he's always wearing the same shirt, but it's a different color. And it kind of looks like, you know, that movie, the Batman, little Gotham guy. That's what I want you to think. Okay. I want to be known as the king of digital real estate. Okay. I'm giving myself that title, but I'm going to earn it. Okay. I've already given myself that title. I am the king of digital real estate, but now I'm going to earn it. Okay. So that is digital real estate. It's very, very simple. And I know people use it very vaguely. They toss it around. That is rank and rent digital real estate. And I'm going to tell you guys really quickly as I wrap this up, I want to tell you my story of getting into it. I want to tell you how I got into it. I want to tell you like the hiccups that I had and then where I'm at today with rank and rent digital real estate. Okay. So this is how I'm going to end this episode. Okay. Back in 2000, I'm going to go back a little bit. So back in 2015, I was 3 years in to a door-to-door commission sales job. Like literally door to door. Like, hey, bro, I'm going to drop you off in this random neighborhood that I just thought of, and you're going to go and sell. Okay. You don't know who's on the other side of the door. You don't know if they're going to call the police. You don't know if they have a gun. You don't know if they're interested in security. You don't know if there's any crime in this area. Just go sell. Okay. That was my job. I did it in 2013, 2014, 2015. I was really good at it. Surprising. Okay. Because I don't come from a sales background. I come from a driving on the tractor, manual labor, blue collar background. Okay. I had no sales experience. So this is 2015. And this is what happened. How this works, how that business works, this door-to-door world is when you work for a company. By the way, I didn't sell pest control or construction. I sold home security. Okay. And how it works is they pay you a little bit to survive throughout the year. And then in October, it's like October 15th, October 30th, you get this big chunk because they take all the people that the customers you signed up that stopped paying, right? All the delinquent payments, and they don't pay you on those because they're like, yo, they're not even our customers. And then they do your calculation and say, here's your chunk of change. You get like 70% of your money on one single day. And it's this really cool day because you wake up one day and you're like, cool, I have whatever amount. And then the next day you could have $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 dropped right into your account. And as a 22, 23, 24-year-old kid, no college degree, no previous work experience, that's pretty cool. But I remember what happened is in 2015, this day happened and I got my check and it was the best year I'd had. I made $210,000 gross on paper in a matter of 5 or 6 months knocking door to door. No education, feeling good, had a rental property, had nice vehicles, traveled, nice clothes, whatever. I thought I was killing, right? And I remember opening up, I can't remember if I got a paper check that came in the mail or I got a bank deposit. I think I got a deposit. I remember looking at my account and typically, or you would think I would be ecstatic and want to go celebrate and want to go out to dinner. But I remember looking at the check or looking at the bank account and all I could think about was the last year and thinking about how much effort I put in to make that money. And it was like over $100,000. I looked at it and I was like, I got to go do that again to make this money because there's no recurring aspect to this, guys. There's no recurring aspect. And I was just, all I could think about, I was like, this is cool. Yeah. But I just remember thinking, I got to go do all that. I got to go knock doors again in Arkansas, in Alabama again. I got to go face all that rejection again to make this money. That was the first thought I had. The second thought I had was, as I thought about all that work, I thought, man, if I put as much blood, sweat, and literal tears into something that I owned, my own business, where would I be at? I've been doing this for 3 years. I've been putting all of my sweat, all of my energy, all of my time, all my resources, all my talent into this company. What if I did that exact same thing and I treated my own thing with that much dedication? Where could I be at today? And this is the thoughts that I had. And I realized in that moment, it was mid-October of 2015, made the most money I'd ever made in my life. I made 200 grand on paper, whatever. It probably ended up being closer to 150, 170 after expenses. all I could think about was I got to get out of this industry because I'm making enough money where if I'm not careful, and some of you guys might be door-to-door guys that watch this eventually or right now. If I'm not careful, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be 30 years old, 35, 40 years old, still making 200, 300 grand, but working for somebody else. And I do not make money unless I'm out there knocking doors, unless I'm asking for money. And I realize I have to find something that's my own, and I have to find something that has certain elements. So I took a piece of paper like this, okay? I took one of these notepads, and I literally just sat down, and I put, if I started a business, what things would that business have to have? What are the different boxes that business would have to check for me to go into that business? And some of the things that I wrote down, number one, just off the top of my head, has to be recurring. I'm done. I remember thinking, I am done getting paid once. I'm done because these guys are going to pay me once. And guess what? I remember hearing this at like a webinar or a conference. They said, yeah, our average customer stays with us for 10 years, 10. They get paid every month for 10 years and I get paid once. So number one, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. It's got to be recurring. I got to be making money every month for work I do once. Number one has to be recurring. Number two, it has to be something on the internet. I was fascinated with the internet. It was kind of like that point where like this digital nomad and travel the world and laptop lifestyle was becoming very popular. And I was like, it has to be on the internet. That was number two. Number three, it has to be scalable. I realized I don't want this to have a ceiling. And I remember getting into door-to-door sales and everyone saying, hey, this is, sales, there's no ceiling on how much you can make. That's not true. It's not true. There is a ceiling on how much you can make. It's called your time. It doesn't matter how much you make. What the dollar amount is, you only have so many hours. There is a ceiling, okay? Period. I need something where I can use this thing called the internet and I can use leverage and I can make infinite money, okay? So it had to be scalable. It had to be something where if I added 10 more customers, I didn't have to add 5 more employees, 10 more employees. I needed to harness some of these points of leverage. So it had to be scalable. Another thing it had to include, had to have an asset attached. It had to be something where, again, I built it and I actually had something that I had that I could call an asset, something that made me money while I slept, okay? So had to have assets attached. That was another one. And then I kind of just said the next one that kind of bled into that, the last one, which was, it had to be something that I could make money while I slept. I was like, dude, how cool would it be if I was golfing and I could make money? How cool would it be if I was traveling and I saw money hit my account? How cool would it be if I was on vacation or on a cruise or doing the things that I love, traveling to Africa? I go to Africa a lot and I'll get into that later. How cool would it be to make money while I traveled to Africa? Like it was mind bending. And all of us have heard people talk about, you got to figure out how to make money while you sleep. You got to make money while you sleep. You got to but how? So these are some of the things. Last thing, I just thought of one more thing. There has to be a lower barrier to entry because I wanted to do real estate. I wanted to buy homes. I wanted to buy rental properties. I wanted to buy single family, townhome, multifamily, commercial. I wanted to buy all those things and I still do. And I am, but I needed something that didn't cost so much money to get into. I didn't want to have to wait till I got 20K or 50K or 100K to buy another property. I wanted to be able to bang these things out. And here's what happened. I went to lunch with a friend. This is such fate. This had nothing to do with my research. I didn't even do that much research, to be honest. I went to lunch with a friend. And this friend, I was talking to him and he had been doing door-to-door sales for the same company like 5 years earlier. He had escaped. I call it escaped, even though it was great money, but he had gotten out of what we call the golden handcuffs. And I said to him, I said, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to find something, but I don't want to go from making 200,000 to making 40. So I have to have a good segue. I have to have a good bridge. And so I said, I need your help. I need some ideas. And he said, what do you think about the internet? And I said, dude, I love the internet. That's one of the things on my list. It has to be on the internet. By the way, I got a bug in here. So if I'm swatting, it's because I got a bug in here. I don't know how it got in here. Fruit flies, man. Fruit flies, dude. Jeez. Anyway, he said, go and listen to this podcast that I did. And he's like, I interviewed this guy and he's got this really cool business model. And he gave me the episode and I went and listened to it. And this episode, guess what they talked about? Guess what the business model was? Rank and rent digital real estate. And I listened to this episode and I was hooked. I was like, and I know many of you guys have probably read that book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's one of the OGs, right? It's one of the greatest books ever. I read it every year, sometimes twice, 3 times a year. It's an amazing book. And so as soon as I heard this podcast, I'm like, that is what he's talking about, except for instead of doing it with like physical real estate, we're doing it with digital. It's perfect, man. It's like the perfect business model. And I listened to it again and again and again. So this is like early 2016. Long story short, I couldn't get it out of my head. And many of you, if you're hearing this the first time or you discover this channel, or you're going to experience something similar. You're not going to be able to shake it out of your head because it checks all the boxes. Guys, I've been looking for a business model that's better than this for the past 6 years. And if you have one that checks all those boxes, I'm in. I will leave this today, but you're not going to find it. Or if you can create it, I'm in. Hit me up. And that's how I'll always be. I'll always be looking. If there's something better than this, I'm going there. But for 6 years, I have not found anything. And so I am continuing. I'm building my empire on this business model. Okay. Anyway, I couldn't shake it. I knew, and I told my wife, I said, this is my last year doing this door-to-door thing. I'm done. I'm just done. I'm not going to keep working for somebody else, even though it's like commission. And I technically work for myself, which is absolute bullshit too. Sorry, any of you guys that are commission sales reps think you own your own business. You don't. Because if you can't set the price and you're getting told what to do, you don't own your own business. You're on a hamster wheel, bro. Okay? You're not. Commission salesperson is not your own business. I'm sorry. Okay? It's not. And I was there and I told myself that and got sold the dream. It's not your own business. I told my wife, I'm not doing this. I'm going to put my effort, my energy into my own thing. Okay? Because I wonder what I could do if I did it with my own thing. So I go out, we end up going to Huntsville, Alabama. And I kid you not, the very first day I was out, I remember thinking, I don't know if I could finish this summer, man. I had 5 months ahead of me. And the first day I was checked out. The first day I was like, I'm out here knocking doors in the heat because somebody else is getting rich in Utah. And I'm putting in my blood, sweat, and tears so they can get rich, so they can buy golf courses, so they can drive Lamborghinis. What are you doing, Nick? So within a couple of weeks, I'm every night, man, I'm selling to pay the bills. And every night I'm researching. I'm watching the landing page of this program, this guy that's teaching it. I'm watching and I'm like, dude, anyway, finally in May, I book a call and I get on this call all I was going to do was get some information. And I got on the call and I just bought the program. I'm like, dude, I'm doing it. It didn't make any sense. I was working all day, every day. I was exhausted. I had 2 kids, one kid, one on the way. I mean, I didn't have time. It was not the perfect time. That's another lesson in and of itself. There's never going to be a perfect time to start this business. I'm telling you that right now. But if you're not careful, you're going to miss this. Okay. Wasn't the right time. I was, knees deep in this other job, but I did it. I bought the thing, and my life from May until I finished that summer in August is I would wake up in the morning. I'd go to the gym. I'd come home and make breakfast and study my sales material. And I would go and I would literally from like 2 o'clock until dark, I was hitting doors. Boom, 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 boom. Selling. Come home, go, and I would pick up Chipotle and I would come home, eat, shower, and I would crack open my laptop. And I was sitting on my living room floor. I remember sitting on my chest, like laying on my chest. And I was building, I was studying, I was grinding away. I was like, I gotta have some passive income coming in so that I can quit this job before, next year. And that's what I did all summer. May, June, and we had our baby. Went home for a week to have the baby. My wife had it, not me, obviously. Flew back out, same schedule. That's how I did it, guys. And in 2016 is when I started and I got into this business. And I've had some hiccups along the way, which we don't have enough time. I'm going to get into my full story because I made a mistake. I got too cool for this business model. I tried to go start a software company, completely failed, lost $50,000, partnered with the wrong guy. Oh my gosh, what a mistake. And guess what? I came back, and I see this happen with so many people. They hear about this business model, they get the bug, they start doing it, they try doing it, they buy a program, whatever, and then they chase something. They go and they get shiny object syndrome, and they go chase the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And guess what happens? Every single time, they end up right here. I did it. I know countless people that did the exact same thing. And for those of you that have jumped into digital real estate, into rank and rent, maybe some of you guys are in my program that are watching, maybe you're not. If you're thinking about chasing something else because you think you're going to make a quick buck, ask yourself, does that thing that you're thinking about chasing, does it check the boxes better than this business model? Or is it just something to distract yourself from doing the thing that's going to actually make you the money? And it's usually the latter. Okay. You will be back, and you're going to regret that you spent that year, that 6 months, that 2 years, that 3 years wasting time, because I wish I could get that year back that I went and chased a software company because I thought it was cool. Okay. I wish I ask myself every day, where would I be at today if I had spent that year, instead of chasing another thing, spent it on this? But for me, because of the way I learn and how stubborn I am, I think I needed that to see how good this really was. Okay. I've tried all the business models, guys. I've sat down and done the pitch and listened to the pitch. And I mean, I've looked at everything from, there's so many things, man. Some making money on Instagram, doing audio books. I mean, dude, all of it. Okay. That leads us to 2020 as I wrap up the story. 2019, I was in December, I was ready to toss it in on digital marketing. I had started into this business because I was going to build assets and I was going to rent them out and I was going to scale it up. And I got sidetracked. And guess what? I started doing SEO. And for those that don't know, that's search engine optimization. I started building websites and doing SEO because I thought that was quicker money. And in December of 2019, I was making $8,000 a month, 8 to 10 grand a month, $60,000 in debt from my failed business, my failed software business. And this close to just saying, you know what, maybe I'm not cut out for business. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I just need to go be a sales guy. And luckily, I didn't do that. Luckily, in 2020, I pulled out my goals. My goal was to get to 100K a month. That was my goal at the time. And I realized for me to get to 100K a month, I was never going to do it by working for somebody else. I was never going to do it by being a sales guy. I was never going to do it unless I owned the thing. And so in 2020, I went all in, man. I went all in on rank and rent digital real estate. And I got obsessed. I every single night, the pandemic came. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to help you get the kids down. I'm going to eat dinner and I'm going to be back in the office and I'm going to be working on this. And I wanted to master it. I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to sell it. I'm going to figure out how to pre-sell it. I'm going to figure out how to sell it without even building a website. I'm going to figure out the sales scripts. I am going to treat this like an obsession. And in 2020, that is what I did. And in 2020, we went and we scaled to $100,000 per month by July of 2020. That fast, because we got obsessed with it. So here we are a couple of years later. It's been 2 years since then. In 2020, I did just over $1 million for my first time ever. Super pumped about that. In 2021, we did 1.475. That was last year. And then late last year, I realized there was this issue. And this issue is there's tons of people out there teaching, build a website, rank it, and then go and try and find a client and teaching this rank and rent thing. But I realized people don't have 4 to 6 months to wait. People don't want to wait 4 months for a site to rank before they go sell it. And guess what? Not everyone knows how to sell it. So late last year, about this time, I created a Facebook group, and I still have that Facebook group. It's what I've referenced multiple times. And in that Facebook group, I decided, hey, I'm going to put everyone that's asking me questions about how I'm making money and how I'm getting deals and how I'm pre-selling and how I'm, at 100K a month. Instead of DMing all of them, I'm going to put them all in a Facebook group and I'm going to have them answer or ask their questions on a Facebook group. I'm going to answer them there so everybody can benefit. And I knew that I was going to turn it into money. I just didn't know how. Started a Facebook group and I started answering questions. And December 1st of last year, we launched a program. And that is what is called digital landlords. Okay. And again, this isn't the purpose of this, I'm not here to pitch that. I'm not here to plug that. I'm here to give value, but that is the story. It has allowed me to get out of $60,000 in debt. It's allowed me to literally, a couple of years ago, I spent some time writing down my perfect day, exactly from the moment I woke up until the moment I went to sleep, what car I was going to drive, the color of my garage floor, that detailed, the pool I was going to swim in. And I'm telling you right now, everything I wrote down, everything, with the exception of I put on my perfect day, I was going to drive a Range Rover. I have a G-Wagon, which I think is a much better option, but that's the only difference. Every single thing has come to pass. And I've done it from this business model. I've done it from digital real estate, from rank and rent digital real estate. So yes, if I am on here and you're like, bro, chill, bro, slow down. Why does it seem like you're taking cocaine and you're on Adderall? And cool. I hope you think that. It's because I'm pumped. I have seen single moms in my program that have literally changed their entire situation. I have seen people go from making a little bit of money to I have 2 people that I'm working with right now that are making over $45,000 per month. I have seen people make enough money to pay for the house payment, pay for their mom. Like, I've seen so many things that I'm pumped. And no matter what your situation is, no matter what, if you're trying to get out of debt, if you're trying to pay for the house, if you're trying to buy real estate, if you just want to go and travel the world and have a business model that allows you to do that, you can do that through this business model. So I don't think everybody needs to have the same goals. I don't think everyone wants to or needs to be ultra rich. Some of you guys just want time freedom. That's awesome. You could do it with this business model. So when I get excited, when I start spitting and sputtering and the whole thing, it's because I'm pumped, because I've literally seen it change my life, and I've seen it change a lot of people's lives. This is something I believe in enough. I've got my brothers in this program. I have got my best friends in this program. I have got my best friends' brothers in this program. And it is something where I have been trying to shoot holes in it. I have been trying to look for angles why it wouldn't work. I have looked at trust me, all the things that you're going to think of, the questions you're going to have, I've thought of them. What happens if Google shifts? Trust me, I've already thought about that. What happens if, whatever it is, I've thought about it. Okay. That is why I'm doing this. I am the king of digital real estate, and I'm going to earn that title. So really quick before I end, one more time, and then I'm going to look at the comments really quick. If anyone has any questions, I'm going to answer a couple before I hop off. Every single Monday, 10 a.m. MST, aka 12 p.m. EST, I'm going to be on here with Making Hay with digital real estate every single Monday. We're going to be talking about all things digital real estate. I'm going to be taking questions. I'm going to be answering. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you got a client that's pissing you off. I don't care if you're wondering what to say when you cold call somebody. I don't care if you're wondering if you could do this from another country. You can. By the way, we have people in Nigeria doing this. We have people in Nicaragua doing this. We have people in Europe doing this. We have tons of people in Australia doing this, Canada. So I just answered that one. Don't care what the question is. I'll take it. I'll answer it. I want to go over every facet of this business model, every single nook and cranny, every sliver, everything. This is something I've been obsessed with, really obsessed with since 2020, but I've been involved with since 2016. This is how I make my money, guys. This is how I make my money. And one last thing. I did not start opening my mouth. I did not start talking about this. I did not start teaching this. I didn't create a program after I made $10,000. This is actually really important. Listen up. I wasn't one of those guys that made 10 grand 1 month and went, oh, I'm going to make a program and I'm going to get rich. Nope. I didn't do that. I made millions. I made millions of dollars doing this business model. And then I opened my mouth. I had 2 years in a row where I made 7 figures from nothing other than the business model that I'm talking about, the business model that I'm teaching. 100% of it. Not any SEO, not any of that. All of it from this business model before I said a damn word about teaching it. So for all of you out there that are like, oh yeah, there's this other guy, ask them how much they make. Ask them how much they've made before you go and just, fly out your card and stick it down and jump in their program and come back and complain and say, dude, this is dog shit. Okay. Ask them, how much money, sir, that has your little program. How much are you making on this business model? You're so excited to talk. How much do you make? How much have you made? What's your biggest month? Are you still making money from it? Are you making money from that or some other offshoot? Or do you just make your money selling your program, bro, ma'am, lady, whoever it is? Ask that question. Guys, this is an industry. It's got a lot of wolves in it. It does. And you need to be very, very cautious about what you pay for. Okay. Seriously. So I just want to throw that in because I'll always wear that. I'll always use that card. I made 7 figures 2 years in a row before I said a damn word about teaching it. Unlike everybody else that made 10 grand one time and all of a sudden they're an expert. Okay. I did the thing. I was the guy that was the player before he was the coach. I was the Steve Kerr that actually went and played and won championships with Jordan before he went and won championships as a coach. Okay. I wasn't the guy that went to school to be a coach and became a coach. I learned it because I've done it and I continue to do it to this day. In fact, we closed the deal literally as frequently as last Thursday. Last Thursday. Okay. Let me look at the comments here. What do we got? All right. I recognize some names. Let's see what we got here. Greg, I know you, bro. What's going on, man? Greg says I've been preaching, and yes, I have. Greg has been checking out the Facebook group. Greg, dude, you know what the next step is, bro. You know what the next step is. Okay. Isaiah says, what's the link to your course? So, dude, this is going to sound like a really stupid answer, but I'm not giving it to you. Nope. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm not giving it to you. And here's why. I don't literally, I don't just I'm not one of those guys that throws up a post like, oh, buy my course. Nope. I am very, very, very cautious about who enters my program because I want every person that comes into my program to get to 10K as soon as possible. And so what I do is I actually kind of make it a treasure hunt. And I make it so that by the time you find the link to my program, Isaiah, I'm not going to have to sell you on shit. You're going to be 100% sold on the business model. You're going to be 100% sold that my program works because you will have watched 10, 15 case studies of people around the world that are making money from this business model. I don't do what most people do and say, oh, here's the link. Nope. Go find it. And if you can't find it, or if you give up before you find it, we were never meant to work together. So I'm more of like, you know what? A good way to qualify people is make them go find it. So I will give you a hint. You can find it in both the Discord and the Facebook group. But we have an entire process. Like somebody applies, I read it. All of my team reads it. We read it. We call the person. We make sure they're not wasting our time. Then we have a couple things they have to do. And then we have to jump on it. Like, dude, it's a process because I want to work with people that are already sold on the model, that want to do big shit, that they want to go and make this happen. They don't just want to make $5 on the side. But anyway, that's not to discourage you. That's to say, go find it. Okay. And for anyone else to ask, that's the same. Okay. Lotto, what about R&R violates Google's terms of service? I don't know I don't know. I didn't know that it did. I put a terms of service page on all of my sites. If there's things that you're worried about, if you want to put the company that you work with, that you partner with, you at the bottom of your site, you can put partnered with or affiliate of, whatever. This does not breach any of those. I've never had an issue with that. So I think that's an assumption, and that is why. Michael, I know for a fact have worked. Yeah, Michael and Seaful all the way from West Africa, my man. What's going on, bro? It's late, dude. I can't believe you're awake. But yes, Michael is somebody who actually works directly with me. There you have it, folks. Let's see. Jeff, Nick's paid course is the best business course I've ever been involved with. It is literally over the shoulder and showing you where and how to be successful in this. Bro, thank you. I appreciate you, Jeff. By the way, Jeff is, I don't know by your username, but I think I know which Jeff you are. Jeff is somebody who is working a 9-to-5 job. He has been able to scale his business. Last we talked, he's making $6 to $7 grand per month, all while holding a full-time job. And he's a stud, man. So appreciate that comment, man. Okay, Thado, how much is the course? If you get accepted to talk with us, then we'll talk about that. I don't share any of that because like here's my whole thing on that is whether it's $500, whether it's $40,000, Thado, if you're not sold on the business model, it's going to be irrelevant. You're going to use that as an anchor to not do it. Okay. So I don't even talk about any of that. That's number one, until we get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, what do we got to do? I will tell you, I have never, like, there has been situations, people that have $20,000 in debt, 20 years old, that are in my program. There are situations where single moms making literally $2,000 a month, they're in my program. College kids that are living on freaking ketchup and chips in my program. Money isn't going to be the issue. Okay. Let me just say that. But the other reason is because I've changed. I've raised the price of it 3 times. Nobody thought I was going to. When I originally launched it, I said, this is the price for right now, but it's going to go up. No one believed me. It went up, and then it went up again. So I don't want to say it here. This is going to live on, and it's going to change. Okay. It continues to go up. So that's my answer. Michael says, finally want to put the effort in this. I love it, dude. Let's crank your own business, man. I'm excited. I want to see what damage we can do in West Africa. By the way, Michael, I am going to be in West Africa first week in December. WhatsApp me, man, because I'm going to link up. Okay, let's see. Julius says, who's Megan Hay? I have no idea. No idea. Kurt retracted a message. Not sure what that message said. Okay, Rodney, I applied and Kyle called me 12 o'clock at night. I love it, dude. Kyle, Cowboy Kyle. He works on his own schedule. Sounds like he was up and cracking when he called you. Okay, Kurt says, what's up? One of these days, I'll win that 30-minute consultation call. Love it, dude. Kurt, I might start giving away that 30-minute consultation call on the end of these lives. We will see. So, guys, Lotto says, Nick, you're a very cool dude, my friend. Lotto, I don't know who you are, but I like you. I like that comment. Appreciate it. Oh, Kurt clarified. So it's not Megan Hay. Making hay is a term that is used. Make hay while the sun shines. Make hay while the sun shines. Go and take a hold of the opportunity while it's in front of you before the opportunity is gone. And that is what we have right now, my friends, with Rank and Rent Digital Real Estate. I will see you guys next week, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. MST, right here on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your kids, bring your notepad, bring an open mind. I might offend some of you, but I'll see you next week. I'm out.